Hello and welcome along, everybody. This is stage 7 of the 2024 Global Champions season, and we are officially in Cannes. L'Estade des Espérades is the host for today's venue. This is our second location on the French Riviera, and perhaps most importantly, some might say, the first under floodlights. Now, that is going to be a big talking point throughout the rest of the weekend. But before we unpack all of that, there is a lot to talk about ahead of Global Champions League Round 1. This is GCTV. My name is Mark Lewis, and it is wonderful to have you on board today for Global Champions League. Cannes Stars lead the overall championship. The team powered by the Iron Dames not only leads the championship, but they also won the previous stage in Saint-Tropez. And if you want to continue watching all of the action today, we remind you that we are quietly running a French Pass special where for just €6.99 you were able to watch the events of Saint-Tropez that has passed, Cannes and Paris still to follow. So make sure you take up the offer, sign up for that French Pass and watch all of the action from these French legs of the 2024 season. I remind you as well that the transfer window is officially approaching. Deadline day, D-Day, the 15th of June is quickly approaching as well, where the best teams in the Global Champions League and the best riders in the Global Champions League are looking to try and make good, smart business before that big deadline day happens on the 15th of June. For now, let's quickly take a look back and remind you what took place in Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez in the previous stage of the Global Champions League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez and welcome to the Longines Athena Onassis Horse Show for the second round of the sixth stage of the 2024 Global Champions League.
Van der Vleuten. Madrid can take the lead with 3 teams still to go. Vleuten and O'Bailey aiming for double clear. Look at the time, look at the time, look at the time. They're outside the time allowed. Don van der Donkhoeven, ridden by Jessica Springsteen. Now Les, there's the finish. A time penalty just might come up. There's a time penalty coming. Oh, and they go behind. They go behind Madrid Emotion. Kim Emmen and Imagine. Is this going to be the first clean sheet in the history of the Cannes Stars powered by the Iron Dames? And the lead in Saint-Tropez, it's exactly that. Koek. Oh, and that is gone. That is gone. Cannes Stars have won their second stage of the season after Doha.
We won the first station in Doha and was a very strong start. And now we were really a bit unlucky, I would say. But today I had a very good feeling with the horses and also with Kim. And yeah, it's just an amazing feeling with all the supporters around. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it.
A first ever clean sheet for the Cannes Stars powered by the Iron Dames, and they do so en route to victory in Saint-Tropez. They do so en route to extending their championship lead now to 10 points over the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M in second place. So it is all shaping up for a fantastic championship run from the Cannes Stars. What does that then do for the rest of the table? We've told you that they lead. We've told you that Stockholm Hearts find themselves in second place. What does the rest of the overall rankings look like for the Global Champions League this season? Well, 1 and 2 are now taken care of. Madrid Emotion quietly going about their business in third place, 5 points behind the Stockholm Hearts. And talking about quietly going about their business, well, the Doha Falcons continue to impress and find themselves in fourth place. Falcons Wild United winners in Madrid a couple of weeks ago, up to fifth place. And Mexico Amigos again punching above their weight, level on points with the defending two-time champions Rizomach International powered by Kingsland Equestrian. Let's remind everyone, though, that for Riesenbeck fans who think, well, we're down in 7th place, you are only a handful of points away from 2nd. So again, another good performance today from Philipp Schulze-Topo, from Christian Kuckuck. Could see them jump up massively. The Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, were solid in Madrid, or solid in Miami and Mexico, I beg your pardon, but seem to have lost their way ever so slightly. And somehow for the Shanghai Swans, this poor season continues to haunt them as they struggle to find the form that they were looking for, despite that great victory on home soil in Shanghai a couple of stages ago. That is what the table looks like in the 2024 Global Champions League season. So you would imagine that a lot of people are very interested to find out just how the Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, are going about their business so well. They are quite quickly becoming the quintessential Global Champions League team. So we took some time to sit down with the owner of the team, Deborah Meyer of the Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, to find out just exactly what the brand is all about and what she thinks their road to success really is.
Deborah, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the team owner of Cannes Stars, powered by Iron Dames. But for those who don't know, what is Iron Dames?
Iron Dames is a project which was founded in 2018 to promote women active first in motorsport, and since this year through the Cannes Stars powered by Iron Dames in the equestrian world.
You're incredibly successful in the racing to start with. How did you make the move into show jumping? Did you know much about the GCL?
I knew a bit about the GCL, but first of all, it was an opportunity which came to enter the equestrian world, which is also a world where men and women compete at the same level on equal terms. And it's a very nice, on the more personal level, it's super nice because I have the opportunity to come back to my first passion, which was show jumping. I started competition when I was a child, a young teen. Then life is what it is. You evolve, you do many things, and the opportunity came. So I took it, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to be today in Cannes, which is the home round of the team, and to be with you and with the team here.
How did you go about putting the team together and finding the right riders to make sure that this team was successful?
What is important, what makes the Iron Dames what they are, is the family. It's a family atmosphere. We try to have the best person fitting the spirit of the Iron Dames, and our 6 senior riders, Kim, Sane, Yane, Sophie,
Catherine,
and Natalie really fit the Iron Dames family and match the Iron Dames attitude. It's all about the team, men and women who make this dream and this passion come true. Iron Dames is not one person, it's one group, one family.
That's such a lovely tagline as well. One group, one family. It's what dreams are made of as well. What are your realistic expectations going forward then? Like I said, the Cannes Stars powered by Iron Dames have been fantastic so far this season. We're around nearly halfway through. What are your realistic expectations for the rest of the season?
We won 2 rounds, Doha and Saint-Tropez. We were very consistent in the other rounds. This year is the first year for us. We will be there. The goal is to be there for many years to come, and to do it and grow in a proper way. So being consistent, regular, achieving good performance in the best possible way.
In terms of success, then, getting to the end of this season, if I sat with you at the end, what does success look like to you for this season?
Smiles on the face, good results, positive feeling, the feeling of belonging to a family, to a group which carries passion, which allow dreams to fall true all together as one.
Well, it really is women driven by dreams, but you are at the very heart of that, driving so many dreams for so many women and generations to come as well. And actually, I think it's about time I become an Iron Dame as well. Deborah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And if you just take a listen to Deborah Meyer, they're talking about some of those themes that the Iron Dames team that powers Cannes Stars centers itself around. The fact that it is passion, success, following your dreams. You really do get the feeling that there is a lot of understanding, a lot of belief from the owners to the management, to the trainers, down to the riders as well. And that in essence really is what the Global Champions League is all about, is striving to try and promote. And the Cannes Stars, who now go on to lead the overall championship now by stage 7, practically halfway through the season, are certainly doing a very, very good job of that. Are they going to take the title away from Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland? That is a big question, because for the team that set the Global Champions League alight in 2023, the team that did nothing could be touched by anyone, Riesenbeck International did it all last year. They shattered every record. They set a new standard for show jumping in the Global Champions League based on those high standards. 2024 has not been a success just yet. They are not that far away from second place, but it has not gone their way thus far. We catch up with Christian Kuckuck to find out how Riesenbeck International are feeling about their season and about this weekend in Cannes.
Christian, we always have such high expectations for Riesenbeck. It's been a tricky season so far for you. Just reflect on that for us.
Yeah, well, not only you. We have quite big expectations ourselves. You're right, it was kind of a tricky up and down season so far. We started actually quite good with the podium in Doha. Then struggled in Miami a little bit, had a good comeback in Mexico, struggled again in Shanghai, came back in Madrid, and had a good show in Saint-Tropez. But in general, okay, we have to see, but we had such a phenomenal season last year, so for sure people, but with people I mean also ourselves, we have a lot of expectations, and we are maybe a little slightly disappointed with some results this year. But nevertheless, we are still, I think, not far away. It's very tight, actually, in the overall ranking, though there's still a long way to go. Everything is possible. And yeah, we anyway try our best. We are as motivated as we are here back in Cannes again. We have good memories to Cannes, actually. So I hope that we can step up a bit again this week.
As you said, it's actually quite tight at the top. It's going to make for a really exciting season. You are also the highest points contributor in your team. Does that make it extra frustrating when others don't perform just quite how they should?
Yeah, but it's not only about the others. It's also about myself. I was disappointed with myself having that last rail in Madrid that was expensive, and having a rail in Saint-Tropez, which was also expensive.
Lastly, just looking ahead to the season, we don't have Ludger anymore. Owen is currently out at the moment. Hopefully we see Owen back sometime soon. Do we know when Owen will be back?
Well, the plan in the moment is that he is coming back for Paris, yeah.
Back for Paris then. What's the plan for the season? How do the team build themselves to the rest of the season?
Yeah, well, honestly, it's not so easy to say now we send this rider to this show and to make an overall plan for the whole season. We try to be as good organized as it's actually possible in the moment. Like you said, every now and then something happens in our team and we have to forget about our plan A. And luckily we are good in finding plan B and C so far. But the plan is Philipp Schulze-Topov and me are doing Cannes now here, and then Philipp Schulze-Topov and Owen and probably Harry Allen, they will go to Paris. And so far, we did not plan any further. We will see how these two shows now go for us, and then we go from there.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
How different would the Global Champions League overall ranking look for Razorback International without those costly errors that Christian Kukuk talks about? That final plank in Madrid, the fences falling in Saint-Tropez. It would have been a very, very big difference for Razorback had those errors not taken place. But that is the world of show jumping. That is the sport. And that is what Razorback International and the other 13 teams of the GCL have to deal with every single week. Let's get Frederick de Backer into the show. Let's bring him in for the first time this afternoon. Frederick, welcome to the show. We are talking about favourites. We are talking about who is standing out for you. We've already heard from Kunstars. We've heard from Razorback. I wonder if they make it onto their list. Let's show you today's start list. Take me through, Frederick, who you think stands out today.
It makes a lot of sense to discuss the Kunstars powered by Iron Dames, the home team championship leader. And I didn't have them down as the favourites until about 4 minutes ago, when I was informed by the stadium announcer that there were a few horse changes that weren't processed already during the day. And all of a sudden, I see Iron Dame Sinclair on the list already in round one with Sophie Hinners. That'll be alongside Inflame Go with Kim Emmen. There's Messi van der Ruitershof there for the second round. There is Imagine there for the second round for Kim Emmen. So there's actually plenty of opportunities for the Kunstars to switch around. And that is something that now, with that new information, that makes them really the round one favourites already in that first round, and maybe even for the stage. We should also talk about Doha Falcons. They're doing really well on the championship stage. They bring two very good horses into round one. We're talking Blood Diamond Dupont and the two-time LGCT Grand Prix winner, that is HHS Calais with Michael Pender. On paper, looks very good. The question is, can Calais find that form that he has been looking for over the last weeks? The form that he had at the end of the 2022 season, the dip of the previous season. He's still a little bit there. We have to talk about the team that won here twice already, Valkenswaard United. The team that won, what was it, 2017, 2018. Valkenswaard comes here with Corée de Mies for Edwina Tops-Alexander and Equine America, Unique de Frampart with John Whittaker, with Luna van der Dellenhof here for round two. But the leading team, not the leading team, but the strongest team on paper has to be Razorback International, powered by Kingston. Kukuk is here with Just Be Gentle and with Mumbai. Jumped for 4 and clear last year, and it's Philip Schulze-Tophoff who makes his return with Carla NRW. They won here last year because of the double clear of Philip Schulze-Tophoff. Same team. Can you do it again?
All right, Frederick de Backer, thank you very much. We need to remind you as well, that was the 100th stage of Global Champions League as well, where we celebrated last year in Cannes, the 100th stage of the competition, and it was Razorback International, as Frederick says. In fact, even with Philip Schulze-Tophoff in that lineup, that were able to win stage 100. Can they do it now 12 months later, as we once again return to Cannes here in the Global Champions League? Frederick de Backer did speak about the Doha Falcons. He did talk about Julien Akatam and Mikey Pender in particular on HHS Calais. Standing by alongside now with Rosie Tapnup. Let's find out, Rosie, how is Mikey Pender feeling for today?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm here in the main arena ahead of round one GCL, and joining me is one of the team of Doha Falcons, Mikey Pender. Mikey, currently lying in 4th position. What's the discussion been ahead of the competition today?
Yeah, well, both myself and Julian have our best horses in the class, so we're trying hard for the team, and hopefully we can keep going with the good results. I think we have a very strong team, and we've had maybe once or twice been a bit unlucky, but in general everybody's going good and everyone's trying their best. So hopefully we can continue the way we're going and keep going. And
into round two then, will it be the same lineup?
It'll be the same lineup. I think it'll be the same horses if everything goes to plan, but obviously with the horses we never know, but no, hopefully it'll be the same plan again for the second round.
You're about halfway through walking the course at the moment. What do you make of it so far?
I think it's big enough. It's quite demanding. I think it'll be a completely different class again under the lights tonight, so I think that's interesting as well. But no, it looks big enough, and it looks a nice course. Juliano always builds a very good course, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
The team aren't that far away from the leading team at the moment in terms of points. Realistically, after this stage, do you think you can build on that?
Yeah, hopefully. As I said, we both have our best horses here, and we're trying. So hopefully we can get a good result this week and keep going with the team and try to get us a bit further up the leaderboard.
Very good luck, Mikey. I'll let you carry on walking the course. That is Mikey Pender, part of Doha Falcons. Back to you, Mark.
Some thoughts from Michael Pender, and it's interesting what he talks about with the ring there, describing it as big and quite demanding, but he also alludes to the lights. He alludes to the fact that these floodlights here in Cannes will be lit up for Global Champions League Round 2, and that is going to have an impact, without a doubt, perhaps on young horses, on young riders. Riding under the floodlights can be very, very tricky, but that is still to come later on tonight for GCL Round 2. For now, we take a quick break. When we return, more from our riders here this afternoon, and we talk to the best performing under 25 rider of the season thus far. Stay with us and you'll find out who that is.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is. Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to Stage 7 of the Global Champions League. We are live from Cannes, moments away from the team competition getting underway as the Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, continue to lead the overall championship. The big question is, now that we welcome Uliano Vizzani back into the course designer hot seat, what has he put together for us today? That is the big question. Mikey Pender describes it as big and demanding. I wonder what Frederick de Bakker's thoughts are on it. Frederick, over to you. Let's talk about the course. What has Vizzani put together today?
Well, thank you very much, Mark. This is the first round of GCL, of course, that we are going to discuss. Before we get into the course, there's a few things that you need to know about this arena at the Stade Hesperides. It's not a flat surface. This is the in-gate here in the corner, and basically there's somewhat of a slope in that direction. So from the LED, the big video wall down, there's a little bit of a slope. It's not as significant as in Saint-Tropez, but it is there, and we will discuss it on a few occasions in commentary. There's one other thing. This is the most square arena that you'll find on the circuit in terms of dimensions. As you can see, it's not a rectangular arena like we would have in, call it, in Miami, or that we would find in Paris or other venues, or in Monaco. No, it is very square, and that gives Uliano Vizzani the chance to position fences in very much different directions. In normal arenas. You find a lot along the latitude of the ring, like here and like this line. But here in Cannes, Ujana Vidzani actually also builds in the other direction, giving a lot of dynamics and a lot of 3D feel, a lot of different angles and approaches to the course of the Italian. Round one, from what I see, doesn't look overly big so far, Mark. I just want to quickly go through the first few lines. Very direct, 7 or 8 from 1 to 2. Inside or outside to fence 3? That is a question, but that's not so much the topic just yet. One of the topics is here, the very forward 5 strides from the Oxer to the Oxer. That is 4 to 5. Liverpool as well at fence 5. Very direct 5 strides. And then the question is, for those that want to be competitive in round 1, there's actually an option for an inside turn or a very long outside bend. I think the time allowed, what I saw in the corner of my eye, is that the time allowed is set at 83 seconds. Doesn't look overly long with 12 fences on course at the moment, but yeah, that'll depend on how that inside turn is going to function regarding that time allowed. What else is there to know? Well, if you come on the downhill slope out of the combination, there's actually another related line to fence 7 on 7 or 8 strides. A very direct 7, slightly more on the outside if you want to do 8 strides too. And here you don't really see it. The picture says that it's round rails, but actually it's a full plank wall, so plank after plank. And we know that when the floodlight comes on, that's only for round 2. Floodlight has a very big impact on that, but that is for round 2. Triple combination. Another related distance with 4 strides then from fence 9 to fence 10, and then the last loop. And I just want to talk, we don't have the 3D just yet of this fence, but fence 11, from the pictures that I've seen, looks very, very special. It's built as a wall, but it's very airy and very gappy and very light, so it doesn't have the same imposing impact that a traditional wall has, but it does have the same function with the blocks that can roll off very easily. Have a look, keep an eye out for that fence 11. Next it is 7 strides to home, and that is fence 12. This is basically the first round of the Global Champions League here in Cannes, in the Stade de Hesperide. As I mentioned, this is still entirely under the sunlight. The floodlight will only come on for the second round, and maybe this will already catch a few teams, because as you know, Mark, all penalties are counted, and the best from round 1 go last in round 2.
Thank you very much, Frederik de Backer. It's interesting that you mentioned fence 11, Frederik, because I've just seen Michael van der Vleuten from Adrenamotion walk up to fence 11 multiple times and take a look at it. And you're very right, turquoise in color, very airy, loads of bricks that have been removed from that fence. And I think that is going to be, that's it, right over my shoulder over there, what Frederik de Backer is talking about. That is fence 11. That is going to hopefully play an interesting role here. Designed as a generic wall, but boy, the design that has been used here, taking those blocks out, removing it away from the traditional wall, could be quite challenging later on today. Now, FSCA makes his long-awaited return for the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Injured in the beginning of the season, finally he is back. He's alongside Rosie Tapner.
Well, a man that we haven't seen since Doha is FA for Istanbul Warriors, and it's great to have you back. How pleased are you to be back again?
Also, I'm very happy to come back to Global.
And how are your injuries? Tell us actually, what were the injuries to start with?
I have a dislocated elbow in the Doha when in the horse jumped 1 strike earlier in the triple combination. So when it's dislocated, we find out all the bones broken in the elbow. So they have to take the bones out and they put the prothèse. In the meantime, my wrist is broken, also the hand broken. So I have a surgery. They put a fake bone in the elbow. The rest need time only. So I'm out of the saddle for 7 weeks, let's say. And then I sit on the horses already. And then I train at home couple weeks. And then I take my first show 2 weeks before in the Oplabeek in the Belgium. Then I have here the first show.
Well, it's your first time jumping a big class since Doha as well. Are you feeling physically ready?
Yes, almost. Okay, not 100% back yet. There's still a big way to go, long way to go. But it will take time. Then I prefer to be in the circuit again to back the shape even stronger.
We noticed yesterday that you were wearing a brace on your wrist, but actually you've switched it today. Tell us why you've done that.
Yeah, after my first competition, I back to a doctor for a control. My wrist quite inflamed, so they give me this bracelet, but it's actually not make me strong enough when I want to hold the reins. So I just holding with my fingers, which is not strong enough. So I take it off, put the wet wrap, and I feel better in the second round with the Piccadilly 145. So today I keep this tactic.
I know you are also really pinning to come back for Cannes as well. Why is Cannes so special to you? Why was it so important to get back here?
Yeah, from the first year that we are in the global, the Cannes always for me is a very nice atmosphere, very nice place to be. Also, as for the horses, we are always good result. So I have a good energy in here, and I hope today we will gonna prove it.
Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck today, and fingers crossed for a great result.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unlucky to get the opening draw. First team out the gates, Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Andreas Skau and FECI will be jumping for the team. Rome Gladiators and Mexico Amigos will follow for 2 and 3. But earlier on, we spoke about the under-25s and the best performing under-25s of the 2024 Global Champions League season. Let's show you, from a numbers perspective, which of the riders are the best performing. And it is by a country mile, that of Thibaut Spitz. 7 rounds, 4 clears, 2 podiums, with an average penalty rate of less than 2. Followed by Jody Hall McAteer, who as well delivers really good performances thus far. 5 rounds, 2 clears, no podiums for New York Empire for Jody Hall, I'm afraid, but an average penalty count of just 2.4. A slightly jump up for Nina Malave with her 3 rounds and a single clear, and Giacomo Casadei 3 rounds, 1 clear, no podiums, with an average penalty rate of 4 per round. So good numbers from an under-25 perspective. But as you can see from that graphic, there is only one rider that truly stands out, and that is Thibaut Spitz.
So far it's been a dream season. I think my horses have been unreal. I've had the rounds like I hoped for. My horses are in great shape. So yes, at the start of the season I'd never have expected this at this moment.
What do you think has changed from last year to this year that is now seeing you produce such wonderful results?
I don't really. I think okay, of course the horse is getting older. To have these horses, and I must say the last year I've done a lot of experience on the 5-star level. I think I'm getting much more used to the level, much more confident going into the ring here. So I think that's the biggest impact on this season's results.
Thibaut, you are by far the best performing under-25 rider in the Global Champions League at the moment. Are there other under-25 riders that you keep an eye on, that have impressed you, that are jumping well?
Yeah, I think someone who's really impressed me, and I didn't really know that well before the season, or didn't really know the horses, is Giacomo Casadei. I think he's very consistent rider, very strong in the ring. Otherwise, you have for sure like Mikey and Jack, who have maybe a little bit an off season, or didn't really have start yet, but for me they're also great riders, so for sure they'll come back. Yeah, and then for sure one of my biggest examples throughout my youth career is of course Gilles Thomas, and if you see his results also again this year, winning the Shanghai Grand Prix, I think I'm doing good, but still progress to make for me.
What are maybe some of the lessons that the senior guys give to you as the under-25 rider in the team?
I think it's always good to walk the course together with guys like Peter or Niels or Fernando. Also even last week, just in small details, that for me the course would be obvious because I have a big stride to go somewhere a stride less. Then they'd say, yeah, do here one more. Just little details that show how experienced they are and how well they know how to ride the course. I think for a young rider to be surrounded by such guys, it's really, really good.
I think back to that wonderful period for the Prague Lions, for Thibaut Spitz along with Fernando Martinez Sommer in Miami Beach and Mexico. Since then, the Prague Lions maybe have dipped slightly in form, but maybe a good performance today could well change that. Once again, Thibaut Spitz alongside Impress K, and today he is jumping with Peter Vos and Jarina. That is a wrap for us here on GCTV. Global Champions League Round 1 is just around the corner. So stay with us here live from Cannes for all of the action from the Global Champions League. We'll see you live for the action soon.
Welcome to Saint-Tropez, welcome to Cannes, rather, ladies and gentlemen. Saint-Tropez was just a week ago. We're in Cannes now for the 7th stage of the season, both for launching Global Champions Tour and for Global Champions League. Here in the Stade de Hesperides, as the world's best have gathered here at the Côte d'Azur, including the world's #1. So it's very fair to say that the world's best have come together. Here in this renovated Stade de Hesperides with its iconic palm trees in the background, and of course the French Riviera, that beautiful Mediterranean. Paris Salon is relaxing in hospitality before getting ready. She will compete as a team rider for the first time this season on the New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds. And we just saw Dennis Lynch, the back of Dennis Lynch at least, as he was warming up for what will be an individual round for Lynch. It will be Paris Salon alongside Scott Brash in round 1 of Global Champions League. First, a group of individual riders that will compete in here. Quite an extensive group. To be precise, we have got 18 individuals. Total of 46 riders competing, also with 4 individual glory, but the majority will be competing for their team glories, the 14 teams in this year's league. As we are nearly at the halfway stage. Paris is coming up in 2 weeks' time, and in fairness, Paris will be already past the halfway stage. After Paris, we will have the announcement of the team transfers. Transfer window closes the 15th of June, so that is in exactly 8 days' time. Antoine Herman, the younger under-25 rider for Stockholm Hearts, powered by 18-wheel of horses. Herman is coming out and the first man to go for that team. Stockholm Hearts, just after Cannes Stars, the championship leaders. Considered as one of the favourites is Valkenswaard United, with Gilles Thomas, with Edwina Taps-Alexander, and with, of course, the living legend with John Whittaker. And there, also quietly relaxing, is Edwina Taps-Alexander. This is the always buzzing and busy warm-up, and Dennis Lynch is coming down to the in-gate. Lynch with Brooklyn Heights, and we know that that is not the easiest horse. He's a little bit sketchy. That's why Lynch wants to go first in this class. Then Pizarro, Meyer Zimmermann for the home team for the Cannes Stars. Jane Richard, Mathieu Billon, Geraldine Straumann, Emanuele Gaudiano, Harry Charles. On Charlton is 8th. And then Mitli Neo, Malvet, Siabra, Boisset, Mourier, Thomas, Meyer, Smolders at number 16. And then we go into the team riders, and I'm seeing that we've got less individuals than on the original start list. But here we're already discussing teams with Koekoek and Schulze-Tophoff coming together there, number 31 and 32 for the reigning champions. And at the end, De Vos, Spitz, Taps-Alexander, Whittaker, Salon and Brash, Van der Vleuten and Macaulay for Madrid Emotion, team in 3rd on Global Champions League. And then Joly and Cotard for Monaco Aces, and Hutton and Doyce for Shanghai Swans, team sitting in 2nd last on the GCL standings. Is he? Yes, he is. He is coming down to the in-gate. Dennis Lynch with his Brooklyn Heights. And there is the Irishman by the in-gate. Steady and quietly comes walking in. He always excited Brooklyn Heights. 15 years young by Nabab de Rêve. For pleasure. Very closely related to Emanuele Camille's Odense Odeveld. That will pop up in a few minutes' time. He's 17th to go there. Italy's Emanuele Camille. Lynch with some last checks. Here, this vertical of Volvo is the first fence. Triple combination that you see. It's 8ABC. Lynch starts on the left lead. Long straight approach. Direct 7 from 1 to 2. Inside to 3. That's a plank on top. Oxer of Constance. Long 5, Oxer. No inside turn to 6. That will be too much on the angle, goes wide for the double. Seven strides to the plank. Who is taking all options there, Dennis Lynch. This is fast from the get-go. Ultra careful jumping there through the triple combination. Rolls back to 9. People already applauding. It's not done just yet. And there goes the front rail. Holds him now for 4 strides. They get a little bit tight there up to the Longines upright. Final line coming up for Dennis Lynch and Brooklyn Heights. Look at this airy fence. Almost looks like a cross-country fence. And then the finish at 12 with 8 penalties in the end for Dennis Lynch. That's slightly disappointing there. The fault at the final fence. He was on a very, very fast run for 4 penalties. But now Lynch comes out on 8. Ireland's Dennis Lynch and Brooklyn. Ex-Jordan van de Kruishoeven pings that front rail. You see that knee protection on the front legs of Brooklyn Heights. Will bring that into shots later this weekend. Nicolas Pizarro, the Mexican, with Pia Contra. That's an added stride on the inside line, and that was a very close call and a deep stride for Pia Contra. Pizarro with his 13-year-old man by Contargos. Look at how long the fall got. So he jumped out of the line, jumped to the right, and had a steep landing. So it took Pia Contra a while to get the engine going again. But there's never a 4, so the 5 are long. Vezzani really opening up the stride. Jumps to the outside here again to find a little bit more room to organize for the triple. Still unclear. He is slower than Lynch, but he is still clear. And he adds a stride to the last, a really deep distance. I think he rode 8 in the end, where it should be 7. With the 8 strides, it does come home unclear. The time allowed is 82 seconds. Pizarro with a few inside turns, but also a few added strides, makes it 74.54. So plenty of time to make the time allowed. start for Janne Frederike Meyer-Zimmerman and Sheldon Cascais. They're all on that inside line. They all go in front, and it's so easy to go in front that going wide truly be silly. Just wastes rhythm and pace, but there's a slight angle that you get going in front and up to that plank. There goes the front wheel of the combination. This Cascais is just 9 years young. Brought this horse here just to get confident, to get the rhythm, get the action going. Very careful horse in general, this Cascais. Has recently added a new horse to her string. That is Calvino to Denise. You know that horse if you've been following GCL and LGCT. It is the Grand Prix horse of Thibaut Spitz. Now a big transfer to Janne Frederike Meyer-Zimmerman. Seven to the last in 76.06, and one down in 4 penalties. She is 2 seconds slower, off actually than Nicolas Pizarro, and quite a bit slower than Dennis Lynch, 8 seconds slower than Lynch. As she tried to slow him down already, she felt that the rail was coming. He's really powerful. He jumped deep into the combination, no problems at all with the hydrant. Look at how he soars over those fences. He just jumped too deep into that combination and then couldn't rock back. It's a green mistake, one should say. Has to learn to judge that better over time. Fourth individual is Fuego de la Croisière with Jane Richard. That is all of a sudden 8 as she goes through that GCL triple. It's 12 in the end, well inside the time allowed, 75.28 seconds in this meter 55 class. Jane Richard and Fuego apparently had a feeling that he was backing off a little bit and encouraged him with the stick. A little bit too much reaction, I think. Jane Richard. Oh, Mathieu Billot. Between 7 and 8 there in the first line. And then dives inside, goes in front of that wall. That is must to go to the Oxer to Oxer line. Big stride here. There's the Jackeldi. Easily makes the 5. Just behind on the time of Pizarro, 0.88, and that is gone. And so it's 4 penalties. The first time that the plank falls. And then deep to the Oxer. Got a good reaction at the Oxer, but then slightly flatter jump at the center of the triple. Inside turn again. And Billot is aiming at the time now. Nope, where that second fence gone is no longer aiming at the result of Janne Meyer. Won't make the time of Lynch either. and so riding towards third place. Added stride in the final line. Found it easier on 8th and gets home in 75.05 and 8 penalties there. Mathieu Billot and Jacques Eldy. Geraldine Straumer as individual could be a round 2 rider for Istanbul Warriors powered by Carpe Diem. Here for Strauman it's an early rail. How will that affect it? That was a little bit of a bizarre jump over with that final vertical, but he's got that. He does that. Talor. Also depends on the camera angle, of course. And she is 2.5 seconds inside the time allowed. Geraldine Strauman with the Casalor, of course, after that first rail, tempo went down, then took the outside turn out, triple up, going up to 9. 2.5. It's until the Gaudiano is in with Vasco. Doesn't have to move up. He takes the inside line and gets there easily on the 7 without pushing. But then on a slightly longer distance, not that much actually, to the plank, and that is down. And then he gets good reactions from Vatko through the triple, but he's already on 4 penalties. And traditionally, a French crowd with applause when they go clear through the combination over there, dodging the bullets in the 4 stride line from 9 to 10. The first time the ball goes.
Et il a déjà participé au championnat d'Europe de Milan San Siro et au championnat du monde et les Jeux Olympiques de Tokyo et encore au barrage à 2 finales du monde. Il est également le numéro 1 mondial. Pour la Grande-Bretagne, Charlton Archer. Sérieusement, avec un tel palmarès et si peu d'encouragement, la femme de Fabio.
Just outside of the U25 group. The unbelievably talented Harry Charles, now with the Chowton. number 11 in the world. There's Harry Charles. Charlton is by Typhoon and Caleto. And this is a beautiful swing from 2 to 3 on the angle. And then still, you saw a little bit of hesitation, did you not? With Charlton. As if the angle was really appreciated by Charlton. Oh, and was it an extra stride? I believe so. Charlton at the takeoff to the plank. Fell a bit to the right. Wanted to jump that plank straighter than what Harry Charles gave him. And so fell to the inside. Got close to the plank and anticipated by Harry Charles. Coming home with 4 penalties. And then the 7 to get home in 73.10. That's second place. We've just seen 1 clear at this point. It's Nicola Pizarro with the clear in 74.53. Indeed, that was slower than Harry Charles. Pizarro was also slower than Gaudiano. Pizarro was also slower than Lynch, but only Pizarro stayed clear. Charles and Meyer Zimmermann with 4 penalties in second and third. Lynch on 8 penalties in fourth. Yoli Mitlineu and l'artiste de Toxandria. Toxandria, there's no I. A steady approach. Not pushing for the clock. There you have it, 2.5 behind on Pizarro, but a quiet clear would land her in second place. Should she worry about the time allowed? Time allowed is 82. And with this inside turn, it's actually a guarantee that she will make the time allowed. Slightly difficult there through the turn after the triple. Don't lose any time in the second part. Just lose a bit of time here. An approach to the open ball. Another finish for Yoli Mitlineu in 78.03 seconds. That is the second clear, and so it is also second place for l'artiste de Toxandra and Yoli Mitlineu. It is meter 55 clear. Last one. Steady clear for Mitlineu. And there, the standings are shown. Pizarro, Mitlineu, Charles, and Zimmermann, the top 4. This Dina Malvet, home rider, French rider with Cartier SR. Easy 7. Inside, big striding horse, easily covers the ground. Great shot for Malvet. Very confident. Beautiful bend in her line. Direct 7. Oh, and it's a little bit the same fault that we saw with Harry Charles. Wants to jump the wall on the angle, to jump towards the edge of the ring. But every young horse is being trained to jump a fence straight. And that's what he wanted to do. What he was taught, jump it straight. On Global Champions TV, GCTV, there's a great series, The Pursuit of Greatness, with Marco Zeni, who, amongst other things, explains that already at a young age, he trains at home with his young horses, even over small fences, to jump them on the... They have to follow his direction and jump straight in the direction. But they have to be able to jump it on the angle. And that is not what Cartier did with Nina Malvet. 4 penalties in 76.45. That's the slowest of those on 4. And so she is in 5th. Interesting positioning of the fences. It's a little bit a Peter Grant feeling, you could say. Those fences on the turn. Duarte Seabra, Fernhill Baloo. Was also with quite a bit of stride. And it is the rail at the Constance Hotel Oxford. The Liverpool's underneath. Caroline G shares the ride on Fernhill Baloo with Duarte. Wanted to be competitive, but it was not possible for Duarte Seabra. Time-wise and penalty-wise, Seabra and Fernhill valuable 16 penalties in 79.17. There's a flying start that we're seeing from Harold Boisset with Malia Duby. He's trying to fly, that's for sure. Very quick there in her legs. The pair a little bit all over the place, but that's how she likes to go. That's also how he keeps her motivated there on the waiting stride over the Oxer. Finding that the 5 are too long and adds for 6. Motivates her to go there on the 8, extra stride, however, 1.2 faster than the leader, Nicolas Pizarro. Big stretches, and then she has the steep landing over the Oxer, and the 2 strides get long for Malia. And Harold Boisset is riding a very competitive round, very similar to Dennis Lynch's 8 penalty round in 68.65, and Boisset is going to finish around at about the same time as Dennis Lynch, maybe stay sub 70 seconds. There's the finish. It's 4 penalties, just over 70 seconds, 70.91. It is 4th. The fastest on 4 penalties is Francis Harold Boisset with Malia Duby. Good effort from the Frenchman. This this is the fault, but the origin of the rail is actually earlier. It's how we came into the triple combination. Next Frenchman, Jean-Luc Mourier, Kikelo van TNL. Mourier, who was with us in Saint-Tropez last week. Jumped the Grand Prix with gravity. And from that previous camera angle, you could really see how Mourier... 4 penalties. Oh, and then he slides to a stop as Mourier, I believe, also wanted to ride the same 6 that Darrell Boisset rode, but he couldn't organize them early enough. Jean-Luc Mourier, who will retire on Kikelo. Kipko van TNL. And off the round retires Jean-Luc Mourier and Kikko van TNL. That was number 13 in this class, led by Nicolas Pizarro, with Yoli Mitliné with second. This is that first line. Approaches on the left, lands on the right lead, and then sits very much at the inside line, and then he all has to cross the center line of the fence, and as he crosses that line, he has to correct, and actually jumps from outside to inside very much. And takes the front rail out. That is Jean-Luc Mourier. 13 gone, and just 2 clears. This is Gilles Thomas on a chestnut, and it is not Hermitage Cologne, it is Constantin. Constantin is already the second bike Colestus in this class after Chelagon Cascais. Constantin by Colestus and Kidam de Revel, the former ride of Athena Onassis. So easy to jump that Oxer of Constance and jump it on the angle to the outside, and it is the first inside turn, and it comes from Gilles Thomas with Constantin. It's a brave move, and though he hasn't been fast, all of a sudden he gets 2 seconds in front of Nicolas Pizarro by a single move. Pace-wise, your speed is lower, but he's been super efficient, very smart from Gilles Thomas with Constantin, who now picks up the pace, and this pace is actually higher than what we would have seen from Nicolas Pizarro. The 4 get a little bit tight, and there's just 2 fences left to jump. Thomas has extended his lead now to 3.3 seconds. Gets a little bit stuck in the corner. Thomas and Constantin. He goes quietly to the last, has plenty of time, and he goes sub 70. It's 69.83. Gilles Thomas, what a smart round. Mark van Dijk on the right, Stanley van Paaschen on the left. The Belgians that know each other very well, but van Paaschen is here to support the British riders like Ben Meyer and like Scott Brash. And John Whittaker, of course, teammates of both Brash and Meyer, but also of Gilles Thomas. And Gilles Thomas is 5 seconds in the lead. Very smart move of Gilles Thomas. And will we now see more inside turns? Look at the smile of those around him. I would have loved to see that reaction from the team as Gilles Thomas met them in the corridor. That's why Van Paaschen is on kiss and cry, because Ben Meyer is next. Second yesterday in the speed class with Ginger Blue, only beaten very late in the class, the meter 45 class, by Richard Howley. Oh, Ben Meyer, a rail at the first fence, the direct 7, but already on 4, not many clears. And Aral Boisset is 70.91, the fastest on 4 and in 4th place. Van Paaschen, of course, also checking out the performances of Harry Charles. Meyer now on 8 as he passes for double. Tries to keep Ginger Blue, the Paris Grand Prix winner, a little bit straight. Looked as if he felt she was anticipating on turns. Good time, 71.21 seconds. It's 12 in the end for Ben Meyer. Pace-wise, he was there. He was up with the leading riders in this class. However, the rail at fence 1 took him out straight away. She has it a little bit. The nearby Plot Blue, the former Grand Prix winner here in the Stade Esperide with Marco Zening. She has that slight tendency with that front leg that caught her now. From one multi-champion to the next, from the 3-time champion to the 2-time champion, it's Harry Smulders with the Staccato Son Springfield. Springfield owned by the Evergate Stables. Smulders might also be one of those riders attempting that inside turn into the double at 6A and B. Coming up next. Can he make that? Here he comes, and he does it. And his pace is slightly higher, I think, than Gilles Thomas. We'll see right now how that sits. There comes a split, and it's 0.3 in front. After the triple, Thomas sped up and extended his lead at that point on Nicolas Pizarro. Also needs to be aware of that. Little rub there in the center. Now Smulders needs to keep pace, and this is slightly slower than Gilles Thomas. Next split is coming up here at 9. Where will he sit? Just behind, I feel. No split just yet. Smulders, final line, 69.83 for Thomas. Here comes Harry Smulders, 69.83, and he is a touch slower. Half a second the difference between Gilles Thomas and Harry Smulders. In total, 0.8 of a second the difference after that first split and the finish line. As Harry Smulders misses out on the lead, takes second. Gilles Thomas is still the leader with that very smart inside turn. Lovely float in there on Springfield. Individuals have competed. There's no Emanuele Camille, by the way. Was on the original start list, but did not compete. We'll see him in the Grand Prix qualifier, Camille. So we have seen all the individuals, tractors in the background already working for 14 teams. As there, some Pride Lions are getting ready for Global Champions League. Let's have a look at standings after the first 16 in this speed class. Standings that will show that Gilles Thomas leads in 69.83. Harry Smulders is second. Two riders that have taken the ultimate inside turn. Then Pizarro Mitilineo also on clears. That's the top 4. The fast 4 of Boisset, of Harry Charles, and then Meyer Zimmermann. Look at the fast 8 of Dennis Lynch at the next page. There he is, 68.65. Nobody went round quicker than Dennis Lynch, who was first to go, and Lynch did not take the inside turn into the ball combination. So Lynch had even more margin in terms of pace on Gilles Thomas and Harry Smulders. The red colors are flashing in the Stade de Esperide as Global Champions League round 1 and 2 is coming up live here from the Côte d'Azur, the 7th stage of the season. And indeed, Team riders getting ready. We'll close here in Cannes, ladies and gentlemen. Individuals have competed. It is Global Champions League time. Coming up in just a few minutes, live from Cannes.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the 7th stage of the Global Champions League season. We have landed once more at the Côte d'Azur after our stay in Saint-Tropez just a week ago. It is now the city known for its film festival where we've landed. It is Cannes, of course, with its famous croisette, and it's just as famous Stade de Hesperides, the backdrop, the home of the Jumping International de Cannes, as the event is officially named. Here we are in Cannes for stage 7, round 7 of Global Champions League, the home stage of the Cannes Stars, powered by Iron Dames, the home team, of course, the championship leaders, proud leaders after their second win of the season just 7 days ago. Warm, sunny, not too humid, not too windy, couldn't be any better. And for round 2, as you will know if you're a follower of the events here on the Global Champions League and of course of the Cannes stage, you will know that for round 2 we'll have the floodlights come on and get even more intensity and spectacular images. Previous winners, Riesenbeck International won here last year, Monaco Aces have done that in 2021, and Valkenswaard have won here on 2 occasions already. Most successful rider here for GCL, or on GCL standards, is actually Michael van der Vleuten with Madrid in motion, already 3 times on the podium here in the Stade de Hesperides. A 10-point lead for Cannes Stars over Stockholm Hearts, and 5 to Madrid in motion. And then further down, a few surprises. Doha Falcons and Mexico Amigos. The return, the upcoming power of Valkenswaard United, and the unbridled ambition of Riesenbeck International to make it back to the top of the leaderboard. Further down below, some issues. New York Empire didn't score at all after being eliminated in Saint-Tropez last week. As you've seen, also Shanghai Swans don't sit in a very good situation. They, as we speak, are still second last on the standings and are losing touch with the teams in front of them. Ujano Vedzani has built the course of round 1, will do so for round 2 as well. And this is what his mastermind came up with. There is an outside 8 or a direct 7, and both are possible. The 7 are risky, the 8 are actually a little bit tight and tricky. You go in front of fence 5 in your approach to the upright at 3, and then the plank on top, and then an interesting rollback where you can win a bit of time if you want to be competitive. Next, from 4 to 5, it's a long 5 strides, but if you jump into the outside, you might even, on a small striding horse, squeeze in a 6th stride. This says outside turn. There is actually an inside turn into this double combination of 6A and 6B. Next are 7 or 8 stride to fence 7. Now actually fence 7 is shown here with round rails. In reality it is a wall of planks at fence 7. Little bit of a breather in the approach to the triple combination. Oxer 2 strides vertical, 1 stride vertical, so double of verticals to come out of that triple. Quite wide coming in, to be fair, so you do need a little bit of leg and push. And then the exit. In fairness, 8 meters 30 is a fair distance from Vedzani. In front of fence 2 in the approach to 9 of the Cannes Côte d'Azur. And then 4 strides slightly uphill. There's a little bit of an angle of a slope on this ring. 10 after those 4 strides. If you're running for the timer with a bit of pace, the 4 strides to fence 10 could get slightly short, slightly tight. This is an interesting fence, completely different than what you see here. It is actually, well, it almost looks like an eventing vertical. It's a wall, but difficult to describe. You'll see it in a minute. And then what do you choose? 7 or 8 strides to get home. That is, the course is taking us up and down and all around there. Ujano Vedzani. As in the background, the Côte d'Azur and the French Riviera keep popping up. This is Vedzani, the man who came up with this course. Time, this beautiful aerial, if you ask me. Time to have a look in the background there, the warm-up. Time to have a look at the starting order. Shanghai Swans are organizing, grouping together to make sure that they have A strong performance here, which is very much needed. Istanbul Warriors powered by Carpe Diem with Andreas Skau and FSCI. The return of FSCI, as a matter of fact, and here in Cannes they scored their first podium ever. Van Rome Gladiators, stage winners already, powered by ClipMaHorse.tv with Richard Howley and with Michael Duffy. Mexico Amigos, a late change. Eduardo Pereira de Menezes comes in. Carlos Hank Guerrero is their second line rider. Then Tovek and Van Eckem for the team that sits last. Scandinavian Vikings fourth to go. And followed by Doha Falcons. They're well positioned, top four as we speak, with Bender and Archetype bringing in their best horses, Calais and Blood Diamond. Home team, championship leaders, Can Stars, powered by Iron Dane, Sophie Hinners and Kim Emmen in sixth. And then just before the break, the team in second. It is Antoine Herman and Nicolas Philipparts. Second on the standings are Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. Then Rietenbeck International, powered by Kingsland. After the break, Schulze Topov and Kukuk, the team that won the stage here last year with these very same horses, Just Be Gentle and Carla NRW. Prague Lions, powered by Czech Equestrian Team, sit mid-table 8th as we speak. De Vos and Spitz, the all Belgian lineup. Then Valkenswaard United with Tops Alexander and John Whittaker. Valkenswaard in 5th. The New York Empire, powered by Lucano Diamonds, a debut for Paris Talon, finds Cadbresh to her side. Then Van der Vleuten and Macaulay for Madrid in Motion. Elbeke still 2 out of 2 clears. Then Monaco Aces, powered by a line of Porsches, Ines Joly, Gregory Cotard. And then at the end, last team to go, Shanghai Swans with Sam Hutton and Daniel Toysa. Ludger Beerbaum is there. I think we're watching at the back of Andreas Helgstrand. Helgstrand of dressage horses, but lately big investor and entrepreneur in the world of show. Here come Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem, with Billy Matador for Andreas Skau. And FSCI, who makes his return on Piccadilly. Warriors, as we speak, in 10th place. They are 27 points off the lead. And Billy Matador aiming for his first clear this season. Skau has 3 clears under his belt, but not with this horse just yet. Slightly longish 5 there, had to stretch over that back rail. Oh, there he was a touch long, and it was a touch of hesitation, and then Billy Matador didn't come off the ground and jump towards him, but stayed flat. And Skau has the foot down, coming into the double. Through the triple. And so still no clears for Billy Matador this season. In his 4th round already. Keeping a good pace over this course. This is that very remarkable fence. It almost looks like an eventing fence. Fence 11. Skau 73.92 for penalties for Andreas Skau and Billy Matador. Hands over to FSCI, Andreas Skau, CIE, who makes his first return to the league, but also to the bigger classes in show jumping after that fall that he sustained, the injury that he sustained in Doha at the beginning of the season. That was beginning of March, this is beginning of June. So 3 months without big competitions. And now in the ring with the Piccadilly. Yesterday we saw him riding with a brace around his wrist, and that it seems not to be the case today for Efe. The 4 for Efe mean 8 for the team. Ooh, and then he had to stretch. Difficult angle to see what happened. It looked like it was quite long to that oxer of Cannes Côte d'Azur, or did Piccadilly misjudge that fence in time? Maybe we'll see that on the replay. No clears in round 1 for Istanbul Warriors. And so 8 penalties for CIE. It is
a tough start for the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. 4 for Andreas Skau, 8 for FSCIE, and the team powered by Carpe Diem walk away with 12 penalties. The first team out the gate. Rome Gladiators, right over my shoulder, make their way into the ring as they are the second team to go. Richard Howley and Michael Duffy standing by. If you want to watch the rest of Global Champions League Round 1 live from Cannes, get your GCTV pass right now. Don't forget about the French pass as well. For just $6.99, you can check out Cannes and Paris legs to come later on the season. So that's a little bonus special for you, running currently on GCTV. Sign up, get your live pass, and let's go watch the rest of Global Champions League live from Cannes.